Gotta ask you a question about the great Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
He was one of the most unbelievably funny as fuck people ever. He was almost as funny as Amy Schumer. Really
Yeah.
unbelievably funny. But of course, the time the majority of people my age got to know Gilbert through his appearances on Howard Stern.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say that the time Gilbert did the Inside the Actors Studio segment, and you can guess what his favorite word was. And of course, him and Artie continuously said that word, drove Stern man. For about the past decade or more, Gilbert was banned from the Stern show.
Yeah.
So of course, recently he died, and that big nose Howard Stern went on the show, but me and Gilbert were always so close, and we get on very well. He didn't give a flying fuck. So the question that I'm gonna ask for you is, I don't know how well you didn't know Gilbert personally, but when you heard about Stern doing a R.I.P. tribute to a guy who clearly he didn't give a fuck about, how'd that make you feel sexually?
Well, the whole thing, I remember Anthony saying that Stern will do it. And somebody goes, no, he won't. I go, yes, he will, because he's an egomaniac. And I was listening to it in the car, driving my wife to work. And it was basically, he was saying how much he did for him, how he bought him stuff, how Gilbert was cheap. I mean, those are things like, you know what I mean? You can leave out Gilbert being cheap after somebody dies, of how funny he was. Like every comedian basically up there, I don't care what they say, they go, oh, I wish I could do what fucking Gilbert did when he walked in the studio. And he was the leader. He was the top dog, you know what I mean? And it wasn't even close, because it was like mayhem when he went in. And that's how the show was. And then all of a sudden it started to get watered down, I guess. And there was no room for people like us, you know what I mean? But I was already on my way. I think I quit before that all started happening, and they started making changes, and none of the regulars were allowed on, and they went a different direction, which was horrific. If you listen to the show, I'm like, I mean, if Howard had a podcast and you didn't know who he was, you would think it's the worst thing you ever heard. That it's sad of what the show was. I mean, when I got on there, it was the perfect time. You know, understand? It was like everybody that was there, it just hit. And we had I was there for 8.5 years, and it was unbelievably good. I had so much fun up there, and we were having a ball up there. But then, when the fun goes away backstage, it kind of shows. You get a little mad, and you can see you're more angry than you are trying to be funny.
Do you think that Stern was in a way jealous of people like Gilbert and you, who could come on the show, kill off the top of your head for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, while he has two writers over there going, ooh, big boobs where you got there, Robin?
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think I think he knew what the show was. I mean, the show was basically for entertainers to up their ante in the business by people loving them. So it was your job to kill and then make money on the road. And but that all changed, because it was like he wanted to be more corporate, I guess, and he started hiring people. So the distance between, like when I first there, Howard was like, you talk to him, and it was for a while too, where he'd walk by, he'd stop. It wasn't like that. Then you say, hey, what about this? But then all of a sudden there's other people, and it's like you have to talk to this person, talk to that person. And it takes the fun out of it, because most people are idiots in radio and don't know what's funny, because otherwise they'd have their own show.
Well, fuck Howard Stern and his big nose and his wig.